distributions and distribution centers, and these distribution centers will connect with the manufacturing plants. And in the manufacturing plant, the actual production will happen. And if suppose for the raw materials or the extra production, they will depend upon the external vendors or the suppliers. Okay, so for example, suppliers. So this is a typical simple supply chain. Okay, so if you see here, right. So customers to retailers, retailers to DC, and DC to plants, and these plants again depends upon the suppliers. Okay, so for example, if any requirement is there, okay, so if any requirement will flow to the retailers, okay, and from the retailers to it will look for DC to get the supply, okay, and then DC again search for the manufacturing plant which can supply the requested quantity, okay, and here the actual production will happen. For example, let us take a product P1, it requires the component C1 and C2, okay. So for component one, again, the manufacturing plant can get it from the suppliers. So this is how the requirement flows from the customers to the retailers, and supply will again flow from the plants to DC, DC to the retailers, and retailers to the customers. So this is simple, as long as the nodes in the sense the customers are the retailers are the DC, each node are I mean minimum numbers. Okay, if the nodes are less, the complexity of the supply chain is normal. I mean, you can handle those things without any tool. But in reality, the supply chain nodes, the number of nodes are not I mean minimal. It will be more. We have the lots of customers. We have more than one retailers. We have more than one DC and the manufacturing plants. Okay. So for example, let us take customers cust 1, cust 2, cust 3, and cust 4. Okay. So these customers have certain requirements. Okay. So for example, 100, 100, 50, and 100. Okay. So now, so if you take any kind of supply chain, ultimate aim is to supply the product to the customers, okay, at right quantity of right quality on right time, okay. So that is the motive of any supply chain of the organization, okay, right. So now whenever a customer have certain requirement, okay, we look for the retailers who can supply little faster, okay. For example, the retailers 1, retailers 2, and retailers 3. These are the 3 retailers we have, and we have the DC1 and DC2. These are the 2 distribution centers we have, and let us take production plant 1 and the production plant 2. Okay, so now for example, the customer 1 is there and having the requirement of 100, and the retailer is there, and suppose customer 1, customer 2, and customer 3, all the 3 customers are requested from the retailer 1. Okay, but it has a stock of 100 only. How to prioritize the customers? Okay, so that is a challenge, how we can supply optimally, and I mean we need to satisfy all the customers. Okay, how we can provide a solution here. And again, for example, the retailers to the distribution centers, I need certain stock. Which distribution center I need to choose, and from which distribution center I need to get the stock as soon as possible, get the supply as soon as possible. And again, if you look at the DC node level, the same thing applicable. Which manufacturing plant I need to consider, which manufacturing plant can supply the product on right time, on right quantity. Okay, so these things will be increased if the nodes are increased in the supply chain. So for this purpose only, we need certain tool to handle this and to provide the optimal solution so that I can supply the products to the customers, okay, on right time, at right quantity of right quality. Okay, so in the market we have multiple tools are available. Okay, so we have Anaplan, that is also a supply chain management tool. Okay, uh, uh, which provide the solution to the SCM. Okay, Anaplan, and we have JDA, one more tool, and we have Kinaxis, that is also one more tool for the supply chain management. And from SAP, we have SAP APO and then SAP IBP. So these are the tools which are available in the market. So these are the third-party tools. I mean, if you compare with SAP and SAP APU and SAP IBP, these are the two tools from the SAP for supply chain management to handle the supply chain management. Okay. So now, I mean, in the market, we can say right now, we can say 70% of the market in the ERP area, it is grabbed by the SAP products only. Somewhere or another, they are using the SAP product solutions to handle their ERP. Okay, compared to the others. So if you talk about SAP APO, major thing, and SAP IBP, okay, how these products are different. Okay, so if you are specifically talking about the supply chain tool at the SAP level, okay, so SAP APO is a legacy system, or you can say the older system, okay, and the SAP IBP is the new system for the supply chain management, okay, to provide the solution. So SAP APO is the on-premise solution for the SCM. This is an on-premise solution, and this is the cloud solution. Okay, and this is there for the last 20 years. Okay, SAP APO, and they are going to stop the support for the SAP APO. Okay, so actually they have taken a decision. They were planned to close the support for SAP APO for 2020, but as the customers, all the customers are not moved, are not ready to go for SAP IBP, so they have extended their support for the next 5 years. But ultimately, in the coming years, we don't have SAP APO support for the customers. Okay, so and at the same time, the users are trained to promote to the SAP IBP. Okay, SAP is supporting all the customers and guiding all the customers to get the right solution in SAP IBP, and helping the customers to migrate from SAP APO to the SAP IBP solution. Okay, so now just let's understand a small overview with respect to SAP APO, how it is migrated to IBP as a solution at the SAP level. Okay, so generally in SAP APO, we have the demand planning. Okay, we have the supply network planning, we have production planning and detailed scheduling, and we have the TPVS, very lessly used by the customers, and we have the GATP, which is the front-end solution for the customers. So demand planning is the long-term solution, long-term planning. So whatever the sales we have based upon the sales in the past, okay, we'll predict the near future sales so that we can plan accordingly. Okay, so demand planning is like to predict the future sales. Okay, and the supply network planning, this is a long-term plan. And supply network planning, whatever the demand plan we have. Okay, so along with that, it will consider the current sales, and it will generate the supply for those demands. Okay, and the requirements for the weeks or the days. Okay, this is the midterm plan, and the PPDS is the it's a short-term plan. It's a day level. Every minute will counts here. So for example, SAP SNP told that we need to produce 10 planned orders, 10 planned orders for the day one. Okay, so then in the PPDS, at what time and in which sequence I need to produce those 10 planned orders, or for which products I need to produce planned orders first and which products I need to go next. So that scheduling and everything planned in the PPDS. So this is a short-term plan. And once the production is done, to handle the movements between plants, distribution center, distribution center retailers, or the distributors to the customers, for the vehicle, I mean transportation purpose, if you want to have the optimized solution, we go for the TPVS. But I didn't see in my entire career, I didn't see. I mean, no one used the TPVS as a solution for that. And we have the GATP. This is a front-end solution. Okay. Whenever any customer comes with a requirement, it will check availability of that product within your organization at the respective location. Okay. And whether I can able to fulfill that product or not. If I am able to fulfill, by when I can able to fulfill it. Okay. So suppose the user requested the product at a certain location. Okay. And you don't have that product in that location, but you have same product in another location. I mean, it will propose the solution. I mean, it will propose to the customer, we have the stock in another location. Do you want to, are you okay with that if I supply from features? So whether I can able to substitute the other product with the given product or not. So that kind of flexibility is there with the in the GATP. It's a purely front end to the customers, between the organization and the customer. Okay. So now this is the how the earlier the customers are using the APO. Okay. So now SAP started the cloud product from the last 5 to 6 years. They are developing this SAP IBP. So initially they started with S&OP. Okay. So like once the planning is done to get the all the stakeholders together and shake hand with each other to finalize the plan. Okay. So for that purpose, they build this S&OP. Okay. And it has a I mean, user-friendly system. And slowly what they did is, so whatever the functionality which we can achieve in the DP or SNP, so they are developing all those features in the SAP IBP itself. Okay, so they have expanded the, I mean, they have developed the SAP IBP in such a way that it can handle all the things which we are handling through the SAP APO product. Okay. So now DP, it is upgraded to IBP demand. Okay. And we have IBP supply. Okay. And we have IBP inventory. On top of this, we have IBP S&OP. Okay. And we have IBP supply chain control tower. So this is the analytics and dashboards, exceptional handling management, all those things we can handle. Okay. So now one beauty of SAP IBP product is, suppose earlier, if you wanna take, if you wanna implement the DP as a solution for your requirement, okay. So then you need to take entire SAP APO product solution. Okay, you need to take the license for entire SAP APO. I mean, even if you don't need SNP, it will come as a package. Okay, individual license won't be there. But when it comes to IBP, I want to implement only IBP demand for my organization or for my client. I don't want the supply or inventory or the supply chain control tower. So you have the choice. Okay, you can subscribe or get the license only the specified modules. So that is possible in the SAP IBP. And as it is a cloud solution, we don't need much setup at the client level. Okay, with respect to the database, everything will be handled by the SAP. You just need to take the license. That's it. So the admin setup at the backend at the client level, it is not required as compared to the on-premise products. Okay, so now let us go into the SAP IBP, what actually it is there. Okay. So then we'll see what is the importance of the each module, what are the features are available in the each module. Okay. So if you see, these are the broader level, these are the modules which are available in SAP IBP, IBP demand, IBP inventory, IBP response and supply, and we have IBP S&OP, and we have supply chain control tower. Okay. So as I mentioned, IBP demand is for to forecast the nearest sales, okay, in the future. Sorry. One second. Right. So IBP demand mainly is to predict the future sales. And here, if you take any kind of demand planning, like, so if you take any demand planning, the general cycle will be like, first you need to gather the data. Okay, that is a sales history. Okay, once you gather the data, the next step is you just need to someone is asking something. Heard some voice.
No, continue.
Quoi?
So the first step is for any kind of.
En fait, je trouvais qu'elle sentait pas bon, donc elle n'est pas lavée. J'ai oublié de la laver en même temps. J'ai lavé les draps et tout, puis en fait, après, quand j'ai lavé les draps, je me suis aperçu que c'était la couette qui puait. Et après, je me suis aperçu que ça.
So if you take any kind of demand planning, the first step is we just need to gather the historical data. Okay, once you get the data, you just need to cleanse that. Stephen, I think, can you go on mute if you don't have any doubts?
Sorry, you ask, you have a question?
No, I mean, some noise is coming from your end. So
I don't know why, because I am in mute before. Sorry for that.
Okay, thanks. Right. So if you take any kind of demand planning cycle, it starts with the first thing is gather the historical data. So then we need to cleanse the historical data. Once you cleanse the historical data, so the next step is we just need to get the forecast, right forecasting algorithm or any formula to generate the baseline forecast. Okay, so once you generate the baseline forecast or the statistical forecast, we'll get the inputs from the different stakeholders which is there in your organization, whether it is a sales team or the marketing team or the finance team. So we'll get the inputs from all those things, and we'll club I mean, we by considering all those inputs, we'll finalize one demand that we call it as a consensus demand. So we'll fix that and we'll release that to the supply. So, and then we'll monitor that demand plan. If there is any deviations in your demand, if you keep on monitoring, some deviation is there, again we need to relook into it, the forecasting process. This is the general process we follow for any demand planning, so irrespective of the tool. Okay, so say that tool, we to handle that process, we have the flexible features or the applications are available in IBP demand. So we have different data cleansing methods are there, outlier correction methods are there. Okay, if there is any values are missing, okay, due to technical glitches or data value missing. So we can replace those values for the better forecast generation. So we have the very good and optimized sophisticated methods are available to cleansing the data, okay. And then we have the multiple algorithms, okay, uh, uh, to generate the best forecasting, okay. And to get the right forecasting algorithm, we have different types of error methods are there, okay. With the help of that, we can come up with the right forecasting algorithm. So that kind of tools also there, that kind of features also there as a part of IBP demand. And uh, if you have the new product introduction, how to handle that. The basic input for the IBP demand is to hand the sales history. If you don't have the sales history for the new product, so how you handle that, the forecasting of that, are when you want to phase out certain products, so how to handle the demand planning for those kind of products. So all those things we can handle through the IBP demand, okay. And the monitoring also we can do with the help of the basic alerts, something like that. So in the IBP demand, okay. So once once you're done with the demand, okay, whatever the demand you have for the next 1 year or the next 6 months, okay. So the next step is the inventory, okay. So if you have the right inventory in your organization, I mean at the respective location, so it will help us to serve the customers on time. So for example, if you went to a shop, okay, and you ask for certain product, and the shopkeeper told that can you wait for a day, right now I don't have the stock, or if you come tomorrow I can provide the requested quantity, okay. Then shopkeeper waited for 1 day, and again he went back on the second day. uh, uh, then same response, I mean, still I didn't receive the stock. Maybe tomorrow I will get it, and I will supply the product to you. So the third time, so obviously the customer will not wait if it is a urgency, if he has a urgency to get the product. He will switch this shop to another shop which can provide the product on time, okay. So this situation we call it as a stock out situation. We don't have the inventory on time at the respective location, so that we are losing the customers. And if you take another situation, like let us take you have the branches, okay, across 3 to 4 locations. For example, let us consider in India, Bangalore and Hyderabad, Mumbai, and Chennai. These are the 4 locations where you are keeping the inventory, the stocks, okay. For example, you are dealing with the two-wheelers business, you have these branches, and at the each branch you kept around 100 vehicles at each location, okay. And obviously if you are keeping 100 vehicles, obviously it involves some maintenance cost, which includes the rental for the place, and electricity, and the people who supports there. For that also we need to pay. So all those things we call it as a inventory cost, okay. So that inventory cost involves if you keep the two-wheelers at the each location. So now in this case we have kept 100 at the each location, and accordingly that cost will be there. So now if there is a demand, okay, at the each location of 100, then it's okay. We have the demand, that is the reason we are keeping it. For example, at the Chennai location, we have very less demand. Let us take 10, okay, at each month. And at the Mumbai, we have the 200 vehicles needed, but still we kept only 100. So due to which what is happening, in one location, we are keeping high inventory, but the demand is less. In another location, you are having the less inventory, but the demand is high. So this is called, high, which may lead to high inventory cost rates, right? To avoid these situations, we'll go for the uh, inventory planning. So inventory planning, IBP inventory planning will provide the optimized solution to handle this inventory components. Okay, at which location, at which node I need to maintain how much stock. Okay, the safety stock, what will be the my cycle stock, what will be the pipeline stock. All those things can be calculated with the help of the IBP inventory. It has a multiple algorithms like multi-stage. I mean, it will consider all the nodes in the supply chain to provide the inventory. The single stage only specified location you want to have the optimized inventory plan, that is also possible in the IBP inventory. Okay, and the second thing is it also considers the customer service level along with the demand. Okay, so for certain customers, I want to fulfill the customer requirement. I mean, almost whenever they comes, 99% of the times I will supply that product. And there are certain customers, you may have the service level of 70% or 80%. So sometimes you can skip the requirement for that customer. So we'll consider that as an input in the inventory planning, that we call the service level, target service levels. So with respect to the target level, and along with the demand, so we'll give you an optimized plan for the safety stock norms, okay, or the stock norms by using the IBP inventory. So the next thing is you have the demand, and accordingly you have planned for the inventory. So you have the demand, but with further demand you need to generate the supply also, right? So then only you can able to supply the deliver. So we have multiple algorithms are there here also to generate the supply against the demand, and also by considering the current sales also. Okay, we have the heuristics are there, and we have the optimizer is there to get the to provide the right optimized solution. Okay, and again in the heuristics, it's an unconstrained plan, and heuristic and the optimizer is here it is. For example, so this is the normal supply chain. If you take, for example, here to produce the product at a production plant 1, we incurred, let us take per unit, it requires $50. Okay, at the manufacturing plant 2, it requires $10. Okay, and at the to move the product from P1 to the distribution center 1, it requires a transportation cost of $10. And at the production plant 2, if I want to move it from P2 to the DC1, it requires around $20. So now if you see with respect to DC1, if I go for the P1, I may incur a cost of 60 for 1 unit. Okay, but if I go to the P2, I will incur $30 bucks, right? So it is comparatively less. So it will provide a supply from the P2. So this is the this is what the optimizer will do. So it will consider the different cost parameters in your supply chain. Based upon that, whichever is giving the lesser cost with by fulfilling all the demand, so it will take that as a final solution, and it will propose to the our supply chain users. Okay, so that is how the optimizer will work. And one more engine is that is a heuristic. It's unconstrained plan. So we use that like, for example, the customer is having a demand of 100. Okay, so without checking whether I can able to fulfill or not, it straight away say that I mean, without checking the capacity or the resources or the components availability, you don't check that, and it will say that I will deliver it. You want 100, okay, I will provide 100. You want 1,000 units per month, so I will provide 1,000 units. Okay, that's a kind of plan which heuristics give. So why we require this heuristic plan? So basically, so we'll go for the heuristic plan when you wanna identify the bottlenecks in your supply chain. So for example, bottlenecks in the sense, you have the resource capacity and for 100, Okay, you can produce 100 vehicles only per month. Okay, so but you got a demand of 200 and 100 here and 200, 300. Okay, 300 likewise. So now if you go with the heuristic plan, and it will generate straight away 200 I can able to fulfill, and here also 100 I can fulfill, and 200, 300 straight away say that. But actually if you see there is a overload of 100 units again. Okay, and here it is fine. So here it is again 100 units, and here it is a 200 units. So you will get to know at the respective location how much extra demand, um, how much extra supply I need to get. So there the business will think whether I need to extend the supply here, extend the capacity, the resources, or whether I need to get those extra demand from the third party by external procurement. So are that the component levels I need to increase the availability of the component so that I can produce more. So likewise, they will think this around those bottlenecks. Then they will come up with some alternative ideas to get demand fulfilled within your supply chain itself, rather than depending upon the other vendors. Okay, so that is the purpose of the heuristics. That flexibility is there in the IBP supply. Okay, so now on top of these models, we have the IBP S&OP also. So it's like it has, I mean, the basic features of the demand and the basic features of the supply. Okay, so basically if you want to take the license of S&OP, okay, so all the features of demand will not be there, or all the features of supply won't be there. Okay, it contains the flavor of the demand and the flavor of the supply. And the basically S&OP is if you have the already one tool to handle the demand planning, the supply planning, and you will get those inputs from those systems into the IBP, and here you will do the S&OP planning. Okay, like getting all the stakeholders and discuss what is the demand we have and how we can publish the demand to the supply, and the basic review processing, right, as a part of the S&OP. So that will do in the S&OP planning. If you are taking the license of S&OP, so that means you have some other tools or other and the normal third-party tools you have, or the APO tool you have for the demand planning or the supply planning. So then you can use the S&OP planning. Okay, so now on top of this, we have the supply chain control tower. So so here, I mean, before whatever the SAP products we have, so post planning. Okay, once the planning is completed, if I want to visualize the data, okay, by using the charts or the dashboards, we depending upon some other tools like ClickView or the ClickSense to visualize the data in the form of charts, or to get the reports, we are depending upon the BW or the BEX reports, right? So but when it comes to IBP, we eliminate that. No need to depending upon the other tools. We have that flexibility within the system. No need to move the data to other system to visualize the data. We can do within our IBP system only. So that is that we can do with the help of the supply chain control tower. So with this, we can get end-to-end visibility of the your supply chain. If I want to visualize what is my revenue of that respective product family and what is my cost, so you can compare it, which product is giving the more revenue, which is a more high margin is there. So all those things you can visualize using the supply chain control tower. In the supply chain control tower, you have the exception handling also. For example, you have created certain alerts. If suppose my capacity is overshooting, okay, so why it is overshooting it, you can create a case for it, and you can assign particular user, or you can assign that case to particular user, and he will analyze it, and he will give you the feedback why it is giving. So that exceptional handling mechanism is there as a part of the supply chain control tower. So this is how the overview of the each module, how the IBP well deals with the different parts of the supply chain. Okay, so now let us go further.
We don't have purchasing in this purchasing module in this IBP.
PPDS you are saying?
Like a general purchase, whereas you can actually release the purchase orders and all from buying perspective.
Yeah, we can. I mean, in the supply, we'll generate those purchase orders and all. Yeah, we have.
Okay, no problem.
Right. So this is the high level architecture of our SAP IBP. Okay. So for the backend database for the IBP, it's a S/4HANA. So it's help us to execute faster. Okay. So it help us to get the data faster in the executions. And we know that IBP is the planning system. It's not an execution system. Okay. So it's only do the planning and will publish those results wherever you want. Okay. And they will there you can do the execution part. So now to get those data, okay, from the planning, from the execution systems, okay, we have CPI cloud platform integration and the smart data integration SDI. So these are the two agents. Okay, with the help of those integrations, will get the data from other SAP systems or other SAP execution systems to IBP. And once we do the planning here, we'll publish those results again back through those system through SDI or SCI. Okay. Now, if it is not an APO system or SAP relevant system, is some other system is there. So we have the flexibility of the web UI and web UI interfaces. With the help of that, also you can integrate the data. Or if suppose the data is in the form of flat files or the Excel files. Okay, still you can get those data through the data integration jobs. Okay, so all those integration setup is there to connect with the different sets of the system from the outside. So we have that flexibility. If it is our SAP systems, straight away you can connect with the help of the CPA and SDA. If it is other systems other than SAP, we can use the web UI, HTTPS, web services. And if it is not, if it is a flat files, then we can have the data integration jobs to get those data. Okay. So, and as I mentioned, we have the dashboard or the charts or the analytics. Okay. So within our IBP only, we can visualize it. Okay. So basically in IBP, we have the two user interfaces. One is Excel user interface and the second one is the web interfaces. Through the Excel, most of the times we'll do the planning there. And whatever the planning we done, if you want to visualize the data in the form of charts or the dashboards, we'll go for the web interface, web user interface. And the configuration part, we'll do it in the web interface only. Okay, and we can open this web interfaces either in your laptop or the PC and the tablet, and in your mobile also you can access this. So anywhere you can access this. Okay, that is a flexibility of the IBP solution compared to our SAP on-premise solutions. So along with that, we have a flexibility to connect with the to collaborate with the other demand planners within your organization. So through the SAP Jam. Okay. So it's like a organizational Facebook, you can say, like we have the Amber for the Microsoft, right? Similarly for IBP, we have SAP Jam. So we can create your own groups. For example, all the demand planners, you have one group, or all the supply planners, one group. And if you have certain task you need to do, or the certain process you need to do, which involves 2-3 tasks, and each task has to do by one by each person. So you can use this SAP Jam as a workflow kind of stuff. So like not exactly workflow, but similar to that. So like a first demand planner. So for example, I want to do data cleansing part. So I have completed, then you can inform the same thing on the Jam. So the next guy, okay, I will take up the next step. He will inform that I am doing the next activity. And once it is completed, he can inform back in the Jam. And then once he inform back, then the third person who has to do the next task, he will get alerted. So that, okay, so this guy is completed, next job is mine. So I can do that, my part. So to collaborate more closely, So we have this flexibility via SAP JAM in the IBP. So this is the higher level architecture of the IBP. So if you see, these are some of the silent key features of the IBP. So as I mentioned earlier, the user interface is very friendly user interface because it's available in the form of free applications in the web. And Excel is every business guy is more, more friendly with the Excel. They are always do the planning. Their plannings in the Excels only. So they are already, in touch with Excel, so they can easily adapt to this tool, SAP IBP. Okay, so basically we have the Excel and the web interfaces, and in web the applications will be there in the form of free apps. Okay, and when it comes to installation or the landscape, so it's a cloud-based installation. Okay, so at the client level, wherever you are implementing, we don't need to set up any database or something like at the client level. It is just a cloud. Okay, everything will be taken care by the SAP. Okay, they will I will be in touch to handle this database. Okay, it's a cloud-based, completely cloud-based installation. You just need to take the subscription or the license for the respective modules. That's it. So the next thing is the analytics. So this is the promotional factor for the IBP. Okay, this is where SAP people are promoting, saying that within the same tool we have this flexibility. Once the planning is done, we have the charts or the dashboards or the graphs. Okay, you can do within your system only. No need to depending upon the third-party tools. Okay, so we have the sophisticated analytics applications are there as a form of as a part of SCCT module. Okay, and then when it comes to data model, we have a unified data model and the flexible data modeling. Okay, so unified data model is like, for example, you want to do all those kind of plannings in the one model itself. Okay, you can do that. Okay, or if you want to do planning, for example, I want to do a demand planning in one model, and I want to do supply planning in another model, and I want to do inventory planning in another model. That is also possible. Okay, flexible data modeling is there, or the unified data modeling is there in the IBP. So if you want all the features in one model, so that is a unified data model, or if you want an individual, then the flexible data modeling is there. So both the options are there when it comes to IBP data model. So next thing is the integration of the collaboration. So this we discussed. So we can connect with the various systems. Okay, SAP system, whether it is a SAP system or a non-SAP system or the flat files, anything we can integrate smoothly with the IBP, that is through CPR SDI, the web services. Okay, so we can integrate those things. So, and within your organization, you can collaborate with your planners, supply planners, or the demand planners, or the inventory planners, okay, with the help of the SAP JAM. So this is with respect to integration or the collaboration. And the features we have discussed in the previous slide, we have sophisticated algorithms are there, the different forecasting algorithms are there, the supply algorithms are there. Okay, so these are the some of the key features of the IBP. Okay. So this is a general overview of the IBP. Okay. So it's open for question and answers if you have any queries.
I want to know what is the outcome of this course, like from job perspective, like what roles, will be like we should be considering after completion of this course.
So as a part of the training, we'll cover IBP demand, okay, and IBP supply, IBP inventory, and supply chain control tower. Okay, so we'll take the scenarios, we'll configure in front of you only from the scratch. Okay, so how to do the config to achieve certain scenarios. Okay, you will see all those things in the in front of you only. We'll configure and we'll explain each step and why we are doing it, is what is the purpose of doing it, and how many ways we can do that. All those things we'll explain, so you can able to, once we complete this course, you can able to provide a solution independently based upon the requirement.
Okay. And how about like from a fresher perspective, like what should be, we focusing on? Because since IBP is new and we have no other, relevant experience, how we should enter in the market?
Right. To learn SAP IBP, you don't need to have the SAP knowledge. You can learn freshly. You don't have any prerequisites
Okay.
to learn SAP IBP. Okay, it's not like that. If I know some SAP module, then only I can go for the SAP IBP. It's not like that. Even freshers can go into SAP IBP. They have the opportunities.
Okay, no problem. And while practicing, right, we will be getting server to do like practice
right.
after the training.
Right.
So how is the server? I have seen some of the comments on Google for various other classes that they're having server issues, like professor is teaching one thing and while they are practicing they don't have servers.
So here I don't think I think so we have the access, server access, okay, until whatever the training sessions we have, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So as long as the training is there, so it is there available for you. So whatever the things I'm doing in front of you in the sessions, okay. So once the session is completed, you can see that, and then you can create your own also in the server. Server is there, it is available, okay, and it is available weekdays, and the weekends it's not there.
Yeah.
It is available 24/7. I can say, with respect to the weekdays. Weekends it won't be available.
Yeah, and you will be only teaching to us, right? Like if we enroll in this course.
Right. I will be the IBP trainer.
Okay, no problem. Yeah.
And even after the course, and if you feel that you are join any other kind of project, and you feel that if you have certain doubts, okay, while implementing or while supporting IBP thing, and you can contact via the institute.
Yeah. No, but I want to know, like the Preeti already mentioned that there is no job assistance provided for this course or anything like that. But is there anything like we get a freelance project or anything that we can work in from the institute to work on?
So that Preeti can answer it. Preeti.
Okay, no problem. I'm not sure if she's. I'll certainly talk to her on this.
Yeah, please.
Okay.
So with respect to the training, we'll provide the training, and so that is my job, and the rest of the things you can ask the admin team or the HR team.
Okay. I guess there's an message, in the chat box for you.
Okay. I am required to get SAP certification from SAP with all the IBP training. Yes, Hussein. So post completion of this training, you can able to crack the IBP certification exam. So you will get that confidence, and at the same time, we'll provide certain materials to help you to clear the IBP certification. We'll provide certain documents to handle it.
I guess we will get the access to this training documents and recordings, right? If we want to refer it back at later time.
Yes. So the training, recording access will be a lifetime. Okay. So once the session is done, they will share with you. Okay.
Okay.
So it will be there.
And the system access.
System access, server access, as a part of the training. Okay, it will be there up to,
Till
for
the course
example,
of the course.
yeah, right.
Okay.